My man. Yeah, we both did the action. It's so good to see you. And it's been years since I've done something like this in person, and you're one of my first to come back, and I love it.
Well, this is a good thing to come back in person for, I'll say that.
No kidding. All right, so when did this get real for you? When did you say to yourself, I'm in the new Top Gun movie?
Day one of shooting here in San Diego. We were on North Island Naval Base in Coronado, right on the Coronado Island there. And walking into the set, there's about a 2-story American flag, and there's Tom Cruise with his arms open, smiling, $1 million smile, and says, "Welcome to the show." And you're like, this is really happening. It was a surreal experience for me just being on the set. But I asked him, the first thing I asked Tom, I was like, this has to be crazy for you. You're in the same set, in the same wardrobe, essentially, playing the same character, but 30 years have passed. Like, how weird is that? And he's like, this is what I do. This is why I get up in the morning. I was like, well, that's pretty cool.
I'm glad you brought up Tom Cruise because as I'm watching you, and we've talked many times, such a nice guy, but did you ever feel any remorse or did you feel bad about scolding Tom Cruise? Because you're it's very effective.
Honestly, if I could have told my 14-year-old self that I was going to be able to have that experience, I think my 14-year-old self would have laughed and walked out of the room. No, it was a genuine thrill to get to share scenes and to share the screen with somebody that is, this word gets tossed around a lot these days, but it's actually applicable when you talk about Tom. But he's iconic. I mean, he is, and especially in this role. So it was a genuine thrill to be in the scene with him, in any scene.
What do you think the heart and soul, the longevity obviously is there. I just rewatched the first one and it just stands up. There's some, you can see the 80s stuff, but it really holds up. But the heart and soul for now, this new one that's coming out.
It hits on some of the themes that were present in the original one. Obviously, there's certainly, loyalty and teamwork and trust and ambition and all of those things, but it does take them and make them more applicable to a person who's aged 25, 30 years over the course, and what's new in his life, and why hasn't he progressed in his life, and what does he want in his life? Does he want a family? Does he want, does he consider, some of the younger pilots like family? So there's themes of responsibility and these sort of universal themes that carry on from the first one into the second one. But really do extend over the course of somebody's life. And that's the wonder of the film.
Last question, and again, I feel like you'll be honest with me. Were there any mornings when you were going to set and you just blasted Danger Zone to get... I feel like you would do that.
It does kind of feel like when you are driving into the naval base that we shot and you're seeing F-18s landing and you feel like, even if it's not playing, it's still playing in your head. So there is certainly that aspect to it.